Okay, right here, guys, I had to delete the audio. The wind was blowing so hard you couldn't hear anything I said. It was just absolutely terrible. I couldn't even understand myself whenever I was listening to it. But what I was saying essentially is the fact that sometimes when farm property is sold, it turns into subdivisions or commercial properties, and it just is pretty much ruined. We are so fortunate that this has turned into a city park. And one of the things that you're going to see the benefit of is an awesome car show. Some of the neatest cars from the Midwest showed up here today. Now, to all my normal viewers, I want to apologize um, for the music. It's not my choice of venue, but it is what it is. This truck here, if you see those two guys that was on the hood of that vehicle, that was a father and a son, uh, family members that were in the Navy at different times together, and this is a tribute to them. This is not what they call a wrap. This is a totally hand-painted, top to bottom, stem to stern, hand-painted vehicle, and it's just absolutely incredible. You can just stop and look at any one of the items, the aircraft, the fighting scenes, any of this stuff. It's just so perfectly detailed. And look at those. I think those are, I don't know what those are, 60 caliber rounds there on the back end of that truck. That's really cool. But this thing is it's just amazing. Now later you'll hear him talk about the truck in the stuff that's going to bleed over whenever I'm looking at some of the other cars. But I had to turn it down for this one. This was just too terrible for me to listen to. Now this here's a local truck from just a town or two away from us. It's got a 12-valve Cummins in it.
Land family woodworking design for us. They also put some of the cornhole boards up here on the concrete pad for the stage. You guys are welcome to come play all you want.
Now back when I was a kid, cars like this old Buick right here, these were $50 cars. You could buy them all day long. They just were cheap as could be.
And there's a truck here that's never been here and really hasn't been seen for like I think they're about $12, so they're not very much. Gooch is busy as always, pinstriping away a piece of it. For his brother-in-law and his father. They are actually on the hood, and guys, this is not a wrap. This is 100% paint. Pop it like it's hot. So don't ask them if it's a wrap, even though we give them trouble all the time over here. You will see something pretty unique. If you guys happen to watch the show on Motor Train called Texas Metal, Extensive Metal Works down in Texas did the work on this truck for Wallace Oil. It's a local company around here based out of Cuba, I believe it is. This truck is appropriately named Pappy.
It is a pretty cool little rig here. Don't know that I could do anything with it, but it's still neat nonetheless. Now this is a really nice rig, and I had to delete the sound off of this also because there was a couple of other guys looking there that was admiring the truck, and their conversation was quite colorful to the extent to where it wasn't really friendly for children or the lady folk, if you know what I mean. So I just went ahead and deleted the whole thing.
And we wanted one really young that had to do a lot, train her to live in a hotel, got a new hotel wife. Okay, yeah, her first car show is yeah, we're ready to go.
67 442 because that's a 1 year only style hood on it with those louvers.
Valley Sport?
I do believe of all the vehicles here today, this would be my very first choice to pick as one to take home and play with. I just really love any of those Tri-5 Chevrolet cars and trucks. I'll tell you, this old Chevelle or Malibu, whatever it is, ain't nothing to sneeze at either. And I've got a cousin that had a 66 Plymouth like this, put over 300,000 miles on it, driving across state to college way back in, I guess, in the 70s or so. Couldn't kill that thing. You know, when it comes down to my favorite car, between the Tri-5 Chevys and this series of Chevelles, 67, 68, and 69, I'd have a tough time deciding. Because well, I tell you what, this is a very sharp car. Now this is a nice blacked out old Cutlass ragtop. That's one of my favorite old cars as well. Well, the reason I keep talking so much is that blasted rap music in the background. Oh boy, I guess it just draws to this crowd, I guess.
If you need to get judged, it is on you to go over there and get judged, guys. Judging will go till 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, judging will stop for the weekend. So you have from now till 4 o'clock on the other side of the vendors there.
Now this is the inspection station. This is where they're being judged. We sat here in the shade of a pavilion and had some roach coach food. But I tell you what, they ain't much better than this. It's what, 66, maybe 67 Chevy 2, and then of course the venerable 59 Chevy that we looked at a little while ago. I told the missus we probably should have sat here. We could have watched the whole car show. They would have eventually come past us right here at the pavilion. Now boy, here comes that square body Chevy. Man, you talk about a low rider and a nice looking little rig. That thing is so cool. I like it. Looking at all the activity that's over there today, I know my dad would really be happy to see the old home place turn into something like this rather than a commercial development. So you know what? This is Tractor Man 44, guys, and I am out of here.